on, everybody? Welcome to Keeping It Cash. It's your host, Cash Money Morgan. It's -1 degrees outside on a Monday night. Fireplace on the TV, snow outside, and I'm here with both tonight, Jbandz and Toe.
Yo. That's hard.
How you guys feeling tonight?
Man, it's cold, tired, trying to shake back. It's a long week.
I'm good. Nah, it is mad cold outside. This Houston boy is killing me. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting mad used to it though.
Are you?
I'm getting mad used to this kind of weather. Like before, like when I came up here in 2015, I would have been like, I'm locking my door. Do not come get me.
I'm getting used to it, but you know it is still here spurts. Like earlier today, I walked outside. I just had the Uggs on, no socks. Felt like the cold punched me in my ankle. I went back inside.
Nah, for real. That'd be the most annoying thing. Like when you wear like breathable shoes and you forget and you getting socks wet. And
I've been bringing out all old elite socks.
Nah, facts.
Well, I'm from Wisconsin and I hate this weather. I'm like, go away. It's disgusting. I mean, I don't like going outside and all of a sudden my face just is completely red. You know,
that'd be the tough because your body be warm and then your hands and your face is like this free like
it's icy season.
Man, nah, facts. No.
So a lot of people, you know, if you follow me on Instagram or you follow the podcast or you follow these guys on Instagram or, you know, or Bass Pro Tournament of Champions, you guys have seen that this past weekend was a huge tournament. We were all involved and it was so much fun. So the goal of this episode, we're just going to chat about our lives and get deep, of course. That's what we do on Keeping Up with Cash. But more so, we want to talk about like behind the scenes, funny moments, the recap of the event from our perspective and just diving in. But first and foremost, we need to get to know Toe and Jbandz because I went to college with Toe. You know, EU, Go Valor.
You know, deep connection,
vibes. But I just met Jbandz and everyone else, and we need to understand like how did you guys get connected? How did you guys meet Josh? Like, how did everything really form?
So I feel like the bulk of the team really, we all had a certain connection with everybody. I feel like especially when we bring in you and Eva, I had a connection pretty much with everybody, and then Josh and Twin was kind of like they was gonna have to meet you when y'all got there.
But like, were you guys already connected with everyone else on the team?
Pretty much, yeah. So like Halen, Kamaje, Jeremy, we're all in the same community, like a basketball community. We all respect each other. We support each other work. So that team was already pretty much there before we even had a team. Yeah.
Gotcha. When did you two first meet?
Let me think. Probably like a little bit. Like we knew, like we kind of like seen each other a little bit. That was like Anton freshman year joint. He was recording Tanner back and forth at K-Pool.
Yeah, he seen me. I didn't see him though.
And then cause like everybody's like, Jbandz, that's you over there filming or something. I'm like, what? What you mean?
That's funny.
And like, I don't know. And then I had went to school the next year, but came back. And really picked up I started getting more in depth with the camera because I was doing it when I was out at school in Chicago, and then when I came back, I was doing it here. And then that's more when the thing started with the, hey, you got a twin? Yeah. I be seeing them at Jbandz games, or I was like, bro, I don't even go to no Jbandz games.
He's like, I'm not into Valor like that.
I mean, deeper story. I was almost there.
Crazy. He should have been. Wow. He should have been. But nah, like what really brought us together was. So like you said, in 2018, I had started filming, see me at different games, but people really wasn't recognizing me like that because I wasn't really posting on YouTube, like Instagram the way I am now. So then I go home in Houston for 2019. He went to the TLC in 2019. He was filming. Somebody takes a video of him on the baseline, but they at me.
Oh my goodness.
And then I put it just jokingly, because I really didn't know him that well yet. I jokingly was like, yeah, I'm at the TLC, because people were like, I'm in Houston.
Like doppelganger, like you guys keep missing each other.
And so then he slides up on my story like, bro, that's me. And I'm like, get the heck out of here. So then really from that moment.
This is like a friendship soulmate situation.
No,
you know?
seriously.
Yeah.
From that moment, we was just kind of, and then we linked it back up when I came back that summer of 2019.
Yeah, where we was at the Nixon joint?
Yeah, the summer runs. And then since then, it's my dog. It's been Raps.
That's awesome.
Since then.
So you guys definitely say like you're best friends, or like you're definitely like super inner circle kind of thing.
This is my brother. Trey Woods, obviously.
Yeah.
Before a long time, I used to be like the only person gonna be standing up to me. Don't get emotional. No, I ain't gonna bring tears.
It's a safe space.
But the only person like would have been standing next to me at my wedding was Trey, and 100% now he's gonna be.
Wow. That's
if
awesome.
I got married tomorrow, it'll be 2 people standing up there.
Definitely gonna be there with the GoPro.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, Jbandz.
Let's go. No, that's dope.
For sure. Like
That's-
it's really like, cause it's like I had a relationship with people like outside of cause like with like sports and stuff like that. I feel like if I would have went to Jbandz, I ain't gonna lie, it would have probably been like crazier.
No,
because we'd have been doing this now and then playing football together.
Yeah.
But it's like with the filming stuff, this like really like somebody like, hey man, I get an honest opinion on. Mm-hmm. It ain't just gonna be no yes man.
Right.
He gonna be like such and such. You gotta work on that or this and that. It's like
It's
really,
real.
and it's like he older. It ain't even, I wouldn't even say that's big bro. Like it's bro.
Yeah.
Cause it's like we both got that respect for each other. So it's definitely been lit though. Ever since I met him.
It's my dog. Yeah, I grew up with 5 sisters, so to have like Trey, the brotherhood I got with Trey, and then to like have somebody that literally looks like me. Mm-hmm. Like we don't look like each other in the face, but like we literally like if you see us walking from the back, pause.
I'm gonna have to put like a side by side when I post the episode and be like,
seriously.
like if you think they look alike.
No, thanks. Like it's crazy how much we get called. He gets called Big Toe more than he get called Jbandz, and I get called Jbandz more than I get called Big Toe.
Wow.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Well, it's pretty insane too. Like Eva's definitely one of my best friends from college, and that's a for lifer. But the amount of for life relationships that you can really cultivate after college that can be so deep on like a completely different level, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, especially because like people always. It's when I was in high school, I used to think like these my dogs, like be life.
Right.
And no disrespect, but like I rarely talk to them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was like when I got to college and I met Trey, and then after college meeting Twin, it's like man, like this is like real brotherhood right here. You know what I mean?
It's like I got the same gang I was rolling with in high school. Cause it's like I went to school here and just
Jbandz is like I can't relate to you.
No, it's like no, cause it's like I came from somewhere else and then like I just been up here ever since. So it's like I got the same like guys, but it's like these ain't really just you like regular homeboys. These like real like brothers. We done been through like some crazy moments, good times, bad times, like struggles, all that together. So it's like I feel like that really more real friendships, not just like somebody you see like. A couple of hours a day, and then you don't talk to him for real at all. Mm-hmm. But it's like you might hit cuz up at 2-3 in the morning. What's up? What we doing? Yeah. So it's always a go. Yeah.
I will say too, I think the space that you're in is huge because my girl Hannah Reuter, Love You Queen, she has a podcast here in town, and from the moment we met, like we're on the same wavelength, creative space, like we love the same things, and it's kind of like when you meet someone on the same vibe as you like that, you're just kind of instantly click, because they just get you and you have the same passions a lot of the time. So it's pretty cool, honestly.
No, for real, no doubt.
Yeah. So before we dive into more of the TOC, you mentioned you're from Houston and you mentioned Chicago. Can you just talk about really like where you're from or?
I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay, my bad.
I had just went out there and went to school for a little while.
Yeah.
But how'd you guys both end up in Springfield? I mean, if we're breaking that down.
Go ahead, Twain. You first.
So. My stepdad, he drove trucks for Prime, and he retired. And my mom ended up moving up here just so like while he was driving. So like instead of it being like 3 to 6 months where she might see him, he could probably stop through here like every month. So it's kind of one of them things like better for their relationship. Of course, like
for sure,
I ain't want to come because like I was like, what I'm gonna do in Springfield, like. I gotta leave everything
Facts.
I got going.
Facts.
And I'm like, I gotta leave everything I got going to Louisiana and stuff. And it's just like it was weird at first, but it's like I don't know. It's like I can adapt to anything. So it was just one of them. I just had to make it happen because I wanted to see her happy. So it's pretty much that. And then I've been here ever since.
Yeah. Me, obviously, like you said, the Evangel connection. 2015 came up then. I didn't know nothing about Springfield. I even committed sight unseen. But
that's bold.
That was bold. But I was so eager to play college football.
Yeah.
Like, it was the perfect storm. But yeah, 2015, Todd Drury came all the way to Houston, sat on my mama's couch and told me he wanted me to come play football, and it's been wraps ever since. I went back home, like I said, that quick stint in 2019, and then I came back, which was crazy because when I first got here, I was like, man, once I get that degree, I'm gone.
Me too. Me too. Back, I'm like, how am I not in Europe yet?
No, that's gonna be
my
dope.
time will come.
No, for real. But yeah, 2024, and I'm sitting here really in Springfield, like this could really be home for the rest of my life, which is crazy.
Wow.
But
the base.
No, yeah, but we was talking about that the other day. But it's like this place has really been great for me, and I tell people all the time, like, because people ask me all the time, like, bro, you from Houston, like, how in the world could you make Springfield your home? But I'm just like, man, this place is really great, honestly, depending on what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And for me, somebody that really don't lead a house like that, don't be partying, drinking, all that good stuff. I don't know, twinking.
Don't be on that.
But
really?
no, this is.
Sorry, I had to hit it with it.
No, facts. This is perfect for me though. This is perfect.
Yeah. I mean, Springfield definitely. I mean, I'm always like, oh, ocean. I want to be there at the beach, and that really is a passion of mine. But it's like one of the cheapest costs of living in the country. Cheapest to start a business. You're buying land. There's a lake. So I don't know the future. And people are really nice here that you can literally go on LinkedIn and be like, hey, I'm fascinated by your career. Can we get coffee? And so that's how I've gotten my mentors. I've gotten jobs. And so it is a good place of opportunity. And I love how the creative space is growing. I mean, the vintage pop-ups once a month, and then just meeting all, more of your creatives, friends and team. It's just cool how that element is really growing in Springfield.
Yeah, true. Facts.
But yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the TOC. So, CJ calls me up and he's like, hey, Cash Money Morgan, like, what do you think about this crazy idea? And I'm like, bro, I'm down. I mean, I love sports and I haven't done anything like that in so long. And that was just so fun for me. So thanks again.
Anytime. Thank you.
But how'd you guys get plugged in with, I guess, the Bass Pro Tournament of Champions?
You want me to break it down or you want to start?
No, you got down for sure.
So don't let me
start at the 2 a.m.
Don't let me get long-winded, please, because it can be a long-winded thought process when I think it out. But so originally, me and Twin, I'm gonna start real basic. Me and Twin was at the Arvitz Classic not too long ago here in Springfield, and like you said, we bounce around multiple different high schools, and we know many different videographers, photographers, graphic editors, things like that.
Before you get into it, I feel like we have to talk about like what your job is. What you currently do, because isn't that part of like why?
Well, I'm full-time video right now. I think Twin can say the same.
Oh my gosh! Okay, yeah.
Video photography.
Yeah, video photographer for sure.
Look at these guys. I'm trying to be like them.
No.
With the podcast.
That's what's up. So yeah, and it just dawned upon me because especially when I first started, even when Twin first started, it really wasn't many other people in the city that was doing what we were doing. It was me, Twin, and Shills Media. That was pretty much it.
Wow.
So now we're at the point where so many young people are really doing this. The baselines are really full, and it just hit me. I'm like, bro, I'm getting goosebumps because it's like, I'm like, bro, if we all came together, we can make something real crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm driving back home, and then I get home, and it's like 1:30, 2 in the morning. I call Twin, and Twin, he always gonna be there for me. He gonna let me rant. I'll be having to ask, I'll be like, Twin, you still there? He be like, yes, bro. I'm just letting you rant, dog.
This is literally me and Eva. This is literally how it is.
Because it's like, he always, I'm always up. I feel like I sleep during, a weird part. I ain't even going to say day. I sleep a weird part of the week.
Okay.
I'm going to get one good day in
and
be good.
Nah, facts.
But it's like, he hit me at 2. He was like, Twin. When he answered the phone, he wasn't at the desk standing up. I knew it was finna be one. He pacing back and forth. He's like, Twin, bro, he's like, bro, we gotta let him know we can do the TOC, bro. I'm like, bro, let's do it.
Okay, so quick pause. So at this point, this idea just came to you. Did you have any connects that were already doing that, or?
So we know different people. So another guy is Ryan, Free 3 Kyrie. He does it something called Hoop Fest in Dallas, and it's really big. And then I think it was either right before Hoop Fest or right after Hoop Fest or during Hoop Fest.
It was right before, and then we peeped how the flow of everything went for Hoop Fest, and then we came back together. We yeah, bro, because that's because TLC that same type of vibe, but it's no one really cover it for the event. So it's we all got our own little personal outlets to it's like we'll cover it on our page, but with this one we just try to keep it all on one, and it's just like to like just grow the brand to that, because it's like no one ever really like put it together for them, which like they need it for sure.
100%.
But I mean, it was just like a neutral feeling, but I feel like when we brought it to them, because they knew we could help, and they knew like, and we knew we could help them, so it was like a solid situation.
And how we brought Josh into it, Josh Visuals, J2 Content now.
For sure.
So we talked that night.
Yeah, you better plug him.
Yeah, no, facts. We talked that night, we hashing it out, twin like, yeah, let's do it.
And you already knew him in this space.
I already knew Josh.
Okay.
To matter of fact, the reason why I had more confidence to bring Josh in, recently before this, we did some big time work with Link Year, Trey Johnson. He's like the number 3 player in the nation. We did some big time work for him like a couple weeks before this. So then the next day we see Josh at the gym, and I'm like, Josh, I got this idea about the TLC. He pulls out his phone immediately and says, bro, I had this email in my draft ready to send to Josh Scott, the head guy, over to TLC. So then after that day, we make a group, and then we had already had the team of people, Halen, Kamaje, Jeremy, YouTube, like Morgan.
So where'd
Eagle.
the TikTok idea come from?
The TikTok idea was already in my head because obviously, especially in this day and age, the TikTok is really big.
Right.
But what I know is the people don't want to consume the same content that they consume on Instagram. Facts. With the graphics and photos and videos we produce. They want TikTok to feel more personal, right? Like you with the little microphone, like really just embracing that energy and like you being you. Versus obviously on Instagram, we're gonna put a little makeup on it and make it look good, right? You're not gonna see the imperfections.
No
and the
makeup
flaws.
on right now.
Still beautiful. Still
well,
beautiful.
thank you.
Slay queen. No, but that's what we really wanted to embody. And so I'm gonna be honest. Before you, and Twin attest to this. I said this off the rip. I said, y'all, I got the perfect person. Obviously, you brought
I appreciate that so much.
No, but I was like, I'm not gonna reach out to her because it's no way she gonna do it for the budget we have this year.
Oh yeah.
And so we tried for like 2 to 3 days, and God the whole time. It's funny because God was telling me like, you gonna miss out. Closed mouth don't get fed.
Facts.
You better ask her.
You better preach.
You better ask her to do this, or you gonna miss out because you gonna get somebody. Not to say somebody that ain't as good. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. But somebody that isn't as experienced and as well, put together as you are in this field. Because this is what you supposed to do, girl. I'm go ahead and give you flowers
I appreciate that.
For sure.
This is your field. Yeah, this is your thing.
We're speaking. God, you hear that, man? Make it work.
So that's when and so we went 2 or 3 days. That third day when we were still bouncing off ideas and we really didn't have nobody, that's when I called you, and that's why I was so nervous because I was
You're so funny. Like, what?
I was like, man, she gonna say no, but at least I can say I asked. And when you said yes, you took the shoulder. I was like, oh my God, like thank you, Lord.
It just started like falling together, like everything just like all the pieces we needed for this. It just like everything just fell together.
Yeah.
And then when we met with Josh and Jason, it was just like because we didn't know how they was gonna take it either. So when we did the presentation, like they just sat there and they kind of just they was just listening to us and just sitting back. And then once we was done, it was like, this is definitely what we need.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
no, yeah.
Hold up, what?
it was totally the perfect story. Like it was a God thing because in the middle of it, like Twin said, he stops and says like, this is really what I was gonna try to do this year. And it clearly at the point we did the presentation, the fact that he hadn't started yet, they probably was gonna go into the year without having
like
a media
one
team.
Photographer, maybe.
Probably, maybe even that. And that was our biggest pitch of like, y'all haven't really gave much thought to this because credit to Josh and Jason, they have to do a lot of like they're flying
100%.
teams in. I even know
running a whole event just takes so much time and effort.
They washing all the team's laundry. Like they having to do the behind the scenes of that stuff, like really coordinating that stuff. And it's like, this gonna be our baby, give it to us and we'll take it to another level.
No, for sure.
No, yeah.
And that was one thing I think I admired so much from that leadership team. Like obviously I just, I came in and I was just meeting Josh and Jason, but just the trust level and the professionalism, presenting to them, like you guys just really knocked it out of the park. And I loved how it wasn't micromanaging from any aspect,
For sure.
Because I think when there's trust, you can really thrive. Obviously there's like guidelines and stuff like that, but it was just an amazing event. It just was so fun. And no, I'm so glad you called and asked.
No, I'm so glad you answered.
Well, it's crazy too because I mean, you know, being in Springfield post college, like I have my friends, and you kind of like don't remember who. And I mean, I obviously live above a restaurant. I went down and ate food the other day, and I just ran into two girls who I used to talk to all the time in college, and I was like, "You guys are living here?" Like,
no facts.
What?
Yeah.
So it's cool how just, you know, re-networking and, you know, making new friends, and now it's like I know all these creative media people now that I didn't know before. You know,
facts.
There's plenty.
It is. It's a whole bunch.
It's growing too, though. It's like crazy because like when we was first starting, well, he had started before me, but it's like when I was first starting, I felt like, you know, I was the only one. So, and then like as time like went on, it's just like people would hit me like, bro, I love what you do, bro. You like do like I just want to do stuff like that. Like anything you suggest or stuff like that. It's like, bro, it's honestly, if this is what you want to do, bro, you got to do it wholeheartedly. Like, it's going to be ups and downs with everything. But if this is what you want to do and you really want it, it's going to come. So
that's good.
That's really been the whole thing. Just grind it out. It's going to be ups and downs.
And it was fun to see, too, because Jeremy, Halen, and Kamaje, we really mentored those guys. Like, not so much with Jeremy a little bit, but for sure, Halen and Kamaje, like, before they bought a first camera, like they came to both of us like, what should we do? Like I was with Kamaje's mom, like had multiple conversations with her about the type of cameras he should get and where he should start and stuff like that. So to see where those young men are as well, kind of being there like proteges, our proteges and being their kind of leaders in this way, it was cool to see them kind of flourish in that way as well.
For sure.
For sure. It's like just from like me like knowing from like the first picture or video they took to now, it's like they really like, it ain't too many people I feel like that's really just been grinding and working on their craft. But it's like, it's a select few, like I gotta get them their credit. And them two, I'ma for sure give it, cause like, you could tell like, and then they just wanna grow. It's not they not just, you know, big headed about it, but it's like they wanna grow and be better and like, just like keep having fun with it. So that's really that's why like I support them like for sure the most.
Agree, yeah.
For sure. And I think one of the best things, like I didn't know that was how you guys got plugged in with the TOC. So I think it's so inspiring that you know, you have an idea, you have a dream, pursue it. You know, you don't let people, because there could be like, well, you know, they're not looking for it. There's no budget. There's no this. But you're like, no, we're going to make this happen. It's going to grow our portfolios. It's going to get our name out there. I mean, I was looking through the Instagram before and I was just like, wow. I mean, to look at before and after, and then more, you know, more teams that are higher end want to come because of just the media they get too, you know, and it looks, you know, it's all the things. So very cool. But diving in a little bit more as a contextual question, and nothing like super deep with it, but how did you guys both know you wanted to pursue videography full time?
So when I was at school in Chicago at Trinity International, I had to do a red shirt year my freshman year, but a guy on the camera named Justin, he was a running back, and he had a camera. He was like, you just want to like, I was in graphic design, so I was doing like stuff like that, but it's like I felt like the camera was more my thing, not just sitting at the computer with it. So he let me use his camera, and like I used to come to like games, like because I couldn't dress out sometimes. So the games I couldn't dress out, I just bring the camera and take pictures of the guys. And I mean, of course, when you like being an athlete, looking at the picture, like, yeah, you're going to think the picture look good because it's you in there. But I look back at something, I'm like, bro, this is terrible, bro. I was like, oh, man, like, cuz feet blurry, all kind of things. Like, it's just, I just look back at those things and just bring back to that. But so he gave me the camera then, I did that. Then I came back the next semester. I took some class at OTC, bought a camera, and then just been grinding it out since. I maxed out a Canon T6. Oh, I gave it the blues. I gave it the blues.
Oh, facts.
But then from that, I got another camera like maybe 6 months. Then later after that, I got another one 6 months later. And it's just, I've been just like elevating and growing ever since. But it's just been a whole process. I'm glad I really just stuck it out. So it's definitely been like fun.
Yeah, no doubt,
for sure.
No doubt. I definitely say with me, so growing up, I was just always videos over frames in a way. And that's why I really only do videos now. I don't do photos. It makes some people mad, but I only want to do videos.
Hey, you like what you like.
I like what I like.
You know yourself.
I like what I like, and so just growing up in that way, it was always infatuated with me. I knew I had a good personality, like I could talk on camera and all that good stuff. So when I was getting ready to pick my degree for Evangel, I automatically just chose film and broadcast because it felt natural to me. And so then it wasn't really the camera side. It was more or less, I thought I wanted to be like ESPN broadcast. Got to Evangel and I realized how hard it was to read a teleprompter. Right? So I was like,
crazy.
It is hard.
No,
that's a different beast.
No, it is. So, and it's crazy because podcast now is like, I feel like this is another lane I can be really good in. But then going towards that, me and Trey took a class at Evangel, and this is like 2017, took a documentary class. And the light bulb just went off, right? And that was exactly what I knew what I wanted to do. And it's kind of been raps ever since. Pierce Smith, obviously you had him on.
Yeah, Pierce.
He was in that documentary class. We did a project with him talking about the hard times it was losing his father and things like that, but it was connected to sports. Obviously the ball stops bouncing for everybody at some point. So with this camera, it has allowed me to still be involved with sports and now helping young men and young women get to college. And people ask me all the time, like, oh, what do you do? I say, I'm in the business of helping young men and young women get to college.
Sure, in the business of serving.
No, for seriously. And so, yeah, that's really where it came down for me of how I became a videographer. And then obviously then other stuff started coming, so like weddings and things like that. But mainly, if it wasn't for sports, I probably would have never picked up a camera.
No, for sure.
It's amazing.
It's like, that was really the thing, though, because like you said, the ball gonna stop jumping. I mean, the ball gonna stop bouncing, but it's like when I realized I wasn't gonna be playing no more, this just like, I was doing this, but I was still trying to play. And then once I for sure got there, like, man, it's probably it. I was just like, all right, so, I mean, I gave it my all with that, so now I'm finna run with this. So it's like, it's really been that getting cool stuff for people, because I know when I was playing, it's like I wish somebody was in my game. Like me or Toe, like with the camera pointed on the field, it's like going crazy. And then like we had pictures, but it's like
it's just so not the same. It's just not the same. Yeah. Well, especially like if someone's like parents can't be there and maybe they don't have, they can't pay for something like that. Is storytelling just has a huge amount of power, and so being able to really intersect that with audio and visuals is just awesome. I think so.
Agree. Like that year, that COVID year, so 2021 was like during COVID basketball, and obviously gyms weren't allowing everybody in the gym and stuff like that. Man, I think we hit over like 150 schools that year.
Wow.
Over like 300 videos, and that was
we were going crazy with the mask on.
No, for real. And we got a picture. I'll have to send it to you. Like with us in a mask, like we was really outside getting to it, and we were literally helping people. Families that wasn't able to go to the games, help them see games.
That's amazing.
And then on top of like helping people, families, like they helped a bunch of people recruitment because coaches wasn't outside like that much. So, and then I mean the huddle film, you got that, but that only get you so.
One thing about me is that I don't play games unless it's ping pong at Classics Yard. Classics Yard is Springfield's #1 social sport and game center. It is located in the back of Classic Rock Coffee Company headquarters and next door to the Riff. Coffee, sports, music, what more could you want? Located at 1900 West Sunset Street in Springfield, Missouri. Be sure to check them out, play some games, and reserve your event today. Visit www.classicsyard.com.
But, I mean, being that we was just at a lot of them games, I know for sure, like, we helped a lot of people, like, chase their dream and get to college because COVID really stopped the whole bunch.
Yeah. And even Twin too, to say like that parent, this could be to the a little bit of marketing, but to that parent that may not think it's a big deal versus the huddle film versus what we can provide for them. It's just like, if this video that we're watching of the firework was all grainy and stuff like that, you'll go to another video to where it's actually HD. That's what we're providing for these athletes in a way. Yeah, it may be the same type of video, but coaches are creatures of habit as well. We want to see things in quality, things that sound good as well. So that's why it gives you a leg up over the competition you're trying to compete against.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's cool how serving with the skills you're given can look so different for so many different people. To me, that could be like, oh, serving the TOC. To me, it's like, I'm just having fun with my best friend with these kids. I mean, everyone, I'm just having fun, creative ideas versus like, wow, that was helpful, and so it's cool how your videos can really help change someone's future and be a blessing. So just diving into the TOC. So let's just like recap our different perspectives and vibes and like funny moments and because there was a big group of us and it was cool to kind of all connect and whatnot. But yeah, anyone want to...
You want to start, Twin?
No, you got this.
So to go back to a little bit of the meeting when we were meeting with them, it was a tad, like, obviously me and Twin been in this together for a while, and RP, the legend, the greatest ever really in this area, Rob Yanders.
Sayandos.
Yeah, man. He pushed us to a level that we didn't think we can go to. So with us having already those battles, and Joshua worked for Yanders as well, he gave us that sweat equity that nobody else really can probably say they had.
Wow.
No, for sure.
But a little bit of that presentation was a tad bit of fake it till we make it. It was more confidence than what we already knew what we can do because we've never covered an event the way we covered it this weekend. Not in live time. We could say we covered an event like, yeah, we filmed 5 games, we grinded that night and got it out the next day. We can never say we filmed 5 games in that moment. 10 minutes later, we had that video ready up on Instagram.
For sure.
So it was a little bit of fake it till we make it. And I think that day one was a little bit of like, we had to look each other in the face. I'm like, all right, we know we can do this, but we got to go to another level.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so that was fun, really being able to look myself in the mirror and say, I questioned myself on if I can do it, and we did it.
No, for sure.
That was great to be able to say. Like, I get goosebumps because I really do feel like I was in my mamba bag this weekend. Like,
man,
we had to go.
Bag work for sure.
We had to go there. We had no choice because, and that's like I say, the confidence because we went out and said, hey, we're going to do this. And we wasn't gonna take anything else shorter than that. It wasn't gonna be, hey, we got to the goal. No, we're gonna exceed the goal of even what we told you, because we know what we have in our ability. So that was fun, just as far as the day in, day out of things we did. What about you, Twin?
To be honest, I mean, it really felt like, cause I treat every like event the same, cause it's like, I've been here. It's like one of them. I've been here before. I already know how it go. This one was just different because we was putting it all on one thing, and then just like staying on top of it and posting on multiple like platforms. Staying on top of it. Real game live like videos, pictures. Most of the time you'd either seen picture or a video of the moment. We had a picture of the dunk and a video of the dunk up in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then just on top of like game recaps, interviews, all y'all TikTok stuff, graphics, and then just really just like being with a team, because everybody got different personalities. So I feel like it works good when everybody can put like, they pride to the side and just do what's best for the team. That's like that's really a big thing for me, because like, of course, everybody got their own swag with everything, but when you can put it to the side and be like, all right, what we got to do, not what I'm going to do. So it's like, that was probably the key moment for me, just a we thing, not an I no more.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And obviously, me and Eva, we were out there in the hallways and the stands, making new friends, trying to think of ideas. And I want to shout out my girl because when we went into it, I'm just thinking, we're just doing audience interviews. Like, I'm like, I just got to meet people and do interviews. And then day 2 is like, actually, can you guys do dancing stuff or this? And we're like, And so Eva was out here, like, researching all night, find ideas. And so a lot of the videos that we got a lot of views on were all her. So shout out my girl, Eva. Love you, queen. Shout out Eva. But yeah, so obviously we're all over the place, meeting players, doing all the things. So when you guys are posting different photos and videos, was there like a color scheme or a type of filter? That there's so many different photographers and videographers. How is it all looking cohesive on the Instagram?
So that was a big part of it as well. Is like Twin just said, it was we over I, right? Because if you go to all our different Instagrams, it's all gonna have a different color scheme, different layout of the aesthetic they have. So that was a big thing of how we came together as video, and then how we came together as photo. And then luckily Jeremy was really running by himself. But even then, his aesthetic with his graphics had to match everything else we were doing to make it all look cohesive together. So that was a big part of it. But yeah, I don't necessarily think we had any tough, because me and Twin had already been through it together. I don't know if Twin can say him and Josh had some, back and forth, but
like it was really like we really just bounced ideas. We came with each part, like we each like looked at something, and then we gave our pluses or we gave our pros and cons about it, and then we was like, all right, so now we gotta put it together.
Yeah.
So then, as the tournament went on, we did test stuff. We set I set the cameras up the same, and then it's just like, all right, we good now. So just shoot. Just really, it's just one of them things. Like we tried to like stay at the same thing all 3 days, and then just when we go to different parts of the gym, we gotta like go do like tunnel stuff or like in the locker room. Really, just make your best judgment in there. Like,
and we'll get it to match that aesthetic. But definitely everything on the court was all matched the same. I mean, it was even like getting Josh to shoot on Sony versus shooting with Canon.
Yeah.
It was all of those different things of everything had to come online.
Wow.
Because that's a big thing we wanted to do. We didn't want one video to look a certain way and then another photo to look a certain way. It was all a team. Yeah, it was all a team from that
And from like an
standpoint.
outsider's perspective, I would have never known.
Yeah.
You look at the Instagram and you're like, oh, this is all just the same person. When really it's like, actually there's like 8 different people.
No, facts. Like some of those posts, it could have went through, and that's the beautiful part about having a team, because like Twin's a hybrid, right? I just do video, but Twin is a hybrid. He could do all of that stuff on that page by himself. He could make a video, make a photo, and out of that photo make a graphic. But how long that would have took him to do just one of those things and those like 5 slide posts, man, that's going to take him a couple hours. Versus if we got one person on the graphic, one person on the photo, one person on the video, we put that all together. Now we can get that done in 10 minutes, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So what's your favorite part of the tournament? And then on the flip side of that, what's the hardest part? I mean, I guess it's the first one, but you guys said you've been attending this for a minute, so.
My favorite part is probably when right before the championship game, they turn all the lights off.
That's tough.
And then play the video with the little fire going. That's usually always like my favorite part. I usually either make sure I get a picture or video. This time I was focused on getting like a bunch of B-roll shots, so I really ain't take a phone video like I usually do every year, but I got a cold video I'm gonna drop soon. But
we're excited to see it.
That's probably my favorite part. Also the media day, but that's gonna also run to be my hardest part.
Yeah.
Because I really I bring the whole setup, like, cause I got my own little self studio for my photography section.
Shout them out.
So I really brought the whole studio to Missouri State, and then just really like each team brought 3 to 5 players, and they all just got like a little like TLC vibe media day. So it's like that was pretty cool, but it's like the hardest part was it was back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
On top of getting them out in real time, like I usually like edit something. I tell people like 3 to 5 days, but I did these in like 10 to 15 minutes.
That's insane.
So that was probably, I'd say, like the hardest part. It wasn't hard, time consuming, and it was just like a rush. I just had to like stay locked in the whole time. And that's the thing I credit back to Rob. It's just like that fourth quarter work. Like, all right, it's coming. Yeah. So now you gotta, you just started it. Now you gotta finish it. You
gotta get in your bag.
It was definitely one of those. I definitely feel like I went crazy with that. So for next year, I'm gonna kind of have to up the scale again.
Yeah. I definitely, for me, the media day, and this was added to what we brought to the table.
Right.
The media day was the coolest part, and I gotta shout my boy out, man. He did his thing on that. He took that. Facts. He deserved it. He 100% deserved it, because he gave that a feel that I don't really think I see City of Hoopall is doing it a little bit, but the way we did it was really embracing the energy of these teams and making it, like we said in our presentation, we're going to present these teams like a college level, NBA level type media, and as soon as I seen, guys in the back like taking video of the stuff we were doing, I was like, yeah, these kids love it. Like Central, the team, we had to ask them to get out. They didn't want to. They didn't want to leave. You know what I'm saying?
And then like on top of that, at first, like when I was doing, I'm like, just bring the setup. But then I thought back, I was like, wait, I'm forgetting the most important part. You gotta bring the Bluetooth speaker.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Got to. So it's like I just kept stuff because I got a playlist that's like 26 hours, and I know nothing but bangers on there too.
But facts.
You might get some Rod, but that's a banger too. But that's a me thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just made sure I kept that going for sure and stayed on the charger. And then everybody was pretty like, because when it's just quiet, they gonna people gonna.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if young boy playing, you can't really be awkward.
No, we good.
You're gonna be turned.
Yeah, we good.
Well, those photos too were like artistic, and that's what it just looked like. It could be like an album cover, I think that's what's so fun about this is it's a whole different take on basketball. I guess.
Yeah, I think my toughest part too was like, because I kind of took this on my shoulders, the ins and out of making sure everybody was needing to be where they were and scheduling that thing. Because when I reached out to a lot of different people, and most of them that did stuff that like we did this weekend, that was their biggest thing, was saying, hey, actually strategize it out. Put it on paper saying, this is how many posts we're going to have. This is where people are going to be filming. This person's going to be on break. This person's going to have this type of camera with this type of lens. He's going to be in this type of setting. So that was big on me. Because I never really had to do nothing like that before. It was all, I just show up with my own camera in my own bag and pull it out. If I film, I don't. If I want to, I do. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool, being able to kind of organize and run things in that way as well. But that was probably my toughest part of the tournament. Now, what about you? What was your favorite?
Reverse it. No, I'm just kidding. Great question. I think for me, it was like hitting that wall at 8:45 where I was like, I actually just really want to watch the game. And then just trying to edit, and that's where even I noticed, like, whenever I'm crashing, she was kind of up. And then when she was crashing, I was up. And so she was really great, though, because she did a lot. It's so much of, thinking of the ideas of content or, finding the right song. And then I'm trying to think of, like, well, what questions are really basketball and deep, but also the things that no one's going to ask in that media room, and I think that's what I'm trying to do is it's like I want to ask the players the deep questions about the game, but I also want to make them feel so human. And when I'm like, what's your fun fact? They're all kind of like, because they don't get asked that, and
that's
so it's been fun just to kind of hear random things about them. So
that was awesome. You did great. You killed it.
Well, thanks. You guys
Another
killed
tough
it.
part too was like, well, I didn't realize, because when we were at the Blue and Gold, we kind of did a test run. It's a Blue and Gold. It's a big tournament. Like a week before, a couple weeks before the TLC, we did a test run. Man, the Wi-Fi and airdrop in there was great at the time. But for some reason in the TLC, it gave us this a crazy amount of time. So that was hard having to navigate that stuff. But I think we'll be prepared for it next year.
Yeah, for
sure.
Yeah, that's definitely.
And the last day was like the hardest in terms of Wi-Fi. That's where I was like, yo, storage is max. No service.
We couldn't get nothing going for real. Like for a long part, like we couldn't get nothing off the computer to either Dropbox or our phone. Like AirDrop wasn't working. It was one point like my beats wasn't like, I couldn't even hear no music.
Wow.
Because like I was pressing play, but nothing was coming through. But it's like when I walk around in certain parts, I hear a verse and then it's gone again.
Interesting.
So it was just a crazy situation.
That definitely learned a lot of good stuff. But I think we, as a team, we definitely had way more good than negatives that happened for sure. Yeah.
Well, even at the end, the last night, this little boy sitting behind me, he's like, "That's a TikTok girl," and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
That's how I want people. That's how I wanted people to like recognize you. And I know even like for next year, like I definitely want like where they do like a. Where's Morgan at? Like if they come up to you and find you, you know what I'm saying? They could get like a prize and stuff like that. Cause like, and I have y'all have like stuff during the game up on the big screen. Like,
that would be so fun.
Like, I think, and that's what we're gonna prepare for next year. But I think this year was definitely a success, 100%.
No, for sure.
Yeah, especially as the first year. I mean, there weren't really any fires, and that's kind of crazy because typically the first time doing something, there's like a big mistake, and I just don't think there was, which was really cool.
Yeah. Go ahead, Twan.
It was I definitely say the only thing like that I felt like was crazy during it was the Wi-Fi thing, and that was just something that was out of our control, and then we still figured out a way around that and still to keep up with like real time and did stuff like that. So I wouldn't even count that for real.
Probably the worst thing that happened this past weekend was one of our last few posts in the championship game. We posted a halftime graphic for a final graphic, and even then though, you can't really tell the difference because it's not like we posted another game graphic for that final graphic. We just posted the halftime graphic again, and nobody really could tell the difference.
Right.
Yeah, because we layered with the championship joint.
So nobody. If it was big, people would have been in the comments what in the world, because no disrespect, but that Paul VI Glendale game, everybody's in that. That's probably our most engaged comment because the game was really, really bad. But so people would have been in the comments saying hey, y'all messed up on this, but nobody was. So other than that, it was a success for sure.
Yeah. Don't want to talk about the final video at all in that process?
Oh my God. Okay. So
because the group chat was blowing up and me and Evo were eating popcorns.
So to talk about, those of you that went to the TLC that day, Saturday, they played a championship video, and that was big on our plate. And that was really one of the biggest things I wanted to take over, along with that media day. That was the next biggest thing I was excited for. But I knew what was gonna come when Friday night hit. Twin was to remind you, I was looking at him bro, it's gonna be a long one.
And we didn't even leave the stadium. It wasn't even done until midnight Friday night.
We didn't leave out of the stadium till about 12.
Yeah.
And so we get to Jeremy's house after messing around at come and go, and we finally get to Jeremy's house at 1. And I know because I just knew it was gonna be all nighter. They probably didn't know yet, but I knew it was. Because we all together, we gonna have a good time. So
Jbandz well, I'm gonna be up. So
no, that's facts.
No, facts. I swear I lost some weight, straight off laughing because when me and Twin together already just hilarious. You add Jeremy and then Kamaje came an hour later.
Bro, when Kamaje came, it was, I ain't gonna lie.
It was top
you guys should have been mic'd up, honestly.
That's what I told him. That's what I told him. Bro,
you have a YouTube channel just mic'd up and editing.
Yeah, it would have been one of them things we put just a camera in the top of the room. It's one of them live moments. Yeah, people just get popping in and out.
Twitch, That would have been a hilarious Twitch stream. And we ended up staying literally all night. I think Twin kind of went in and out. It was the beanbag chair. Jeremy you could talk about it. I never got to lay on it, but that beanbag must have been goated.
Hey, the beanbag chair. Because I'm finna get an apartment soon, so it's hey, I said one thing for sure. I gotta get, what did he say? It was a 6 foot beanbag?
Yeah, 6 foot, yeah.
One of those is mandatory. I won't take nothing else.
Twin had to get my time on it. He was on it the whole time. But,
hey, I had to make sure, it was cool. I had to get a test run and make sure I won one.
No, facts. But so that whole time, and then it made it even more pressure because although y'all saw the video at, the championship game started around 9, so y'all probably saw it around 8:55. We had to have that video ready for 9 a.m. Mm-hmm. And obviously, if it needs to be ready at 9 a.m., it needs to be ready probably about 7:30. So we were really pushing the clock, and we eventually got it done, got it sent over. But once we got it done, it was 5. It was later than that. It was 7.
Wow.
It was 8.
Anxiety.
No, for real.
We left Jeremy crib at 8:40.
Yeah.
And we had to be at what time did breakfast start?
The breakfast started at 10.
Yeah, so it was.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So I had to, I'm all the way in Nixa, so I literally ran home to Nixa, took a shower, headed back to the arena, headed back to the Oasis for the breakfast. Zero sleep. Twin probably maybe 5 minutes of sleep because every time he would go to sleep, I'd wake him back up. No.
Accountability.
It was really long blinks. I wouldn't say I went to sleep.
So, but no, shout out to Twin because after that breakfast, we went to his house. Had a wardrobe I needed to change. So luckily, and I was planning on driving to his house and back, but when he got out of his house, I was literally slumped over the steering wheel, knocked out.
Did you sleep at all that day or no?
That was my sleep. I was knocked out.
How did you stay awake the whole rest of the day?
Rob Geddes.
It's one of them. It's once you hit that wall, it's you hit the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. You tired. It's crunch time. You just gotta jump. Once you jump that wall, you good.
It's you just roll over to the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at the end of the next day, don't plan nothing. Don't plan nothing.
So I want to dive deeper on that because, I think it's inspiring. You guys' drive to do all these videos for kids, or the TOC, like that first year, and there's no budget for that yet, or whatever it may be, and like just rolling it out. So that drive of like, I may not gain financial reward right now, but I know what's coming, and I know this is my opportunity. So, obviously, where does that come from? I mean, you've been saying Robbie Enders, and
then that'll come from like Rob too, because Rob did like a bunch of charity work in the city. Yeah. So it's like he fronted his own bill for a whole bunch of stuff to do for people that like had less or didn't really have much. So it was one of them to it's like I'm not looking for like a bag. I'm doing this off the love.
That's good.
So it's like I feel like when you can do it off the love and it make you happy, the rest gonna come.
That's right.
That was definitely one of them that quote back to Rob too, because me and him had that talk plenty of times, just like being in the service of others. Like it always ain't gonna like go how you plan it, but as long as you do it like wholeheartedly and it's something like that you love and your happiness, the rest it's gonna all work out for you.
Facts. I right there with Twin, because and it's funny because now I feel like for a long time I used to say, man, I just now started filming. Not no more. It's 2024.
Yeah, for sure.
I fully feel like, especially that's like my slogan for this year, is we are pursuing the bag.
That's good.
And I'm bringing my mans with me, and I know he gonna bring me with him if it's something he can bring me to.
For sure.
And so that was big for me. I knew Drake when he had that when he had his it wasn't S&Q, I think it was GQ interview. He talked about one of his albums was like, this is the moment that can determine everything for us, like the next 10 years to 20 years. This TLC moment was big for us. And I knew if we killed it like we did, this can, propel us to things that, we didn't even see in our future. So that was really where that drive came from, because me and Twin, we always say like Michael Jordan story, like these little hotel rooms.
We done been from hotel to hotel, state to state, games to game. Yeah. I'm talking about, it's been long for a lot of weekends with us. Like it wasn't Saturday and Sunday. It was, we hit the road Thursday. We gonna film from Friday to Sunday. Might come back Sunday night or it's Monday morning.
Wow.
But we still grind. We either got the camera in our hand or the computer the whole time. And we getting stuff out real time. Ain't no sloppy work, real high quality. I'm talking about, it's just the grind. And like, I just say that back, so it's like when I go to high school football games, like I take pictures. I feel like I made like a lot of people work hard, because one, I'm finna drop something crazy. And then two, the game over at 9, depending on what I got going on, I could drop a bunch of heat at 11.
Wow.
I might not even post it. I might just release the folder so kids can get their pictures. And it's just like, I really feel like I help the upcoming generation like get that grind, so you feel like, hey, let's get this out now. Like, we just did this because like, one, I ain't saying I'm the coldest, but I got something coming. Yeah. So you better be up on your P's and Q's.
Better be locked in. No, for real. That's honestly, to answer your question, that's where that drive comes from. I mean, it's embedded in us. That's what equity is. It's nothing new. We've been there before.
And then that's what I tried to tell him. We was coming up there. He's like, bro, I don't know how this gonna go. I'm like, Twin, man, we've been here before. Like, you may not think it, but I'm like, think back for real. Like, we done been here before. We just putting it on one thing.
Yeah. I mean, 25 posts in one day is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not even one day. That was from probably like, noon all the way to like that 11 o'clock. At 25 one post is crazy.
You said this like new standard, this new bar is now raised, and it's like, we're gonna do this, but double it now for the next year or whatever it may be.
For real, we're gonna go harder next year.
Yeah. No doubt. So a few more questions here. Well, one, I think, for the tournament, talking about like Generation Alpha, like after the Generation Z, just meeting a lot of these kids and the players, I think it was really eye-opening to me, where I'm like, wow, you're 16 years old with 10 plus offers, you're locked into the game, you have your goals, some of them are entrepreneurs, just meeting young photographers, all of it. especially you guys taking so much content of the younger generation. Can you speak on like, wow, they're driven. I'm excited for them. I'm hopeful for them. Because I think there's a lot in the media sometimes where it's like, wow, they create stupid words or they're always on TikTok. But I'm like, okay, but they're taking care of their health at 15 and they want to start their own business. Like, I think it's awesome what the next generation is really doing.
No, I agree. When I'm going to hop in front of you on this one. I agree, especially me being like, I'm almost 27 now. So I'm 26 right now. But the way the school system used to work used to frustrate me because I know like way back in the day, obviously, they said they made like school in a way is structured for like factory settings and stuff like that. But the way this new generation works, they don't work like that. And a lot of them are entrepreneurs and they have so much creativity. And I'm so happy that they can able to express themselves in the way they are. It's beautiful. And like you say, like these young men that's already like 16 and they got these NIL deals and college offers and things like that to where they already set almost better than some adults. It's like, it's amazing to see. And I'm glad. I know I'm not sure for how much familiar you are with like NIL deals and stuff like that, but I'm glad these young men are compensated for their hard works. They don't have to wait till they get all the way to the NBA or the NFL to be able to capitalize off their hard work and achievements in today's time. So I love it. I love what these kids are doing.
And then definitely being able to provide, because it'd be like, I mean, just from like growing up down south in Louisiana, like I know a lot of cold guys that was just like, that just had to like do what they can to help out around the house until they got to the league. So being with us now, like, cause I ain't gonna say everybody's situation perfect, but it's like I ain't gonna say my situation better or, someone always got it worse, but people that's just dealing with their situation and handling it the best they could, like being in that situation where you can provide and help out and still just like, chase your dream. Cause it's a lot that go into just either playing football like in a young age and having to go to camps, all kind of like travel the world for visits. And then on top of with basketball, AAU is crazy.
No, it is. No facts.
So, but it's like, that's a lot that go into that. And being like these kids can help out now, like at a young age, I think that's like perfect.
No, absolutely. And even I had a moment at the game where we were doing some content and we had these like middle school boys that were sitting by us and they were so funny. They were just like asking me like little like dating questions. Like, well, what's the best thing to ask a girl out? Like, if I bring in this girl, can she be on your interview like this and this? And, just talking about like, well, should I not go someone like this and this? And I think there's this generation of people that are so hungry and it's like, let's promote like healthy relationships or even, one of the biggest things, and I told these young guys, I was like, don't be so afraid of rejection.
Agreed.
Like, if this girl doesn't like you, on to the next. And stop holding this huge weight about it and just keep it moving. And I think that was one thing. And he's like, oh, she didn't come. And I'm like, okay, on to the next.
No, facts.
And I think if we have this hope for this younger generation and we're exactly what you guys are doing. You're being kind, you're giving your time, you're giving your wisdom, and you're saying like, hey, I believe in you. Because people did that for us. Yeah. And I think it really helps change kids' lives. Is someone being like, wow, you're there for me, you believe in me, and you're helping me get there. So it's phenomenal. Yeah, no doubt. So diving in, I would say like one last question before we get into my typical end of pod notes. But you guys are both, photographer for you, both videographers, friends in media. How do you differentiate yourself between your guys? Because for us, like I have a podcast and for a while I was like the only one that I knew in my space. And now I have 5 other friends with podcasts here in Springfield, but we all have different categories that we're really in. So how does that work for you guys?
I say mine is just like, I feel like I'm just crazy versatile. So
it's a deep bag over here.
And then like I'm always like, I feel like a lot of people think I'm good, but it's like I always keep something in my head like, yeah, that's good, but you got another level. So that's why I always feel like I kind of like keep up with just like staying like growth. I say growth and elevation. So it's like I'm always trying to hit a new level. I know I'm good at what I do or great or however people want to put it. But I still feel like I got more. I feel like I got more, a deeper bag to go into. So my thing is just like don't compare yourself to nobody. It's good. I feel like it's good, ask questions, and then, like, you can, like, learn or take little bits from pieces, but also have, like, your own swag with it. You ain't got to look the same with everybody. You ain't got to be the same, because you going to be by yourself at one point.
That's right.
So being able to have that, like, that mindset to where it's like, all right, like, I'm good. I like what I like. And people like what I like. They're going to come to me for my look or my style or whatever, or even my personality, you feel me? So it's like, just being able to be yourself and then have your own style. So that's really been the biggest thing for me, just like staying true to myself.
That's good. That's good.
I 100% back that is have your own stilo. Do not, and it's so hard, especially because what we do is a social media standpoint, right? And I ain't gonna lie, Southwest Missouri treat us like kings. Like,
no, for sure.
They treat us like kings, and I know for younger people that's trying to come up to be where we at, I know that can be hard. So they may be like, oh, I gotta make this photo just like Jbandz. I gotta make this video just like Big Toe. But how we got to where we are is because we were just being us. And I think the biggest thing I can tell a person that's trying to start off and doing what they do is make it for you.
That's good.
Make it for you. If you post that video and they get 1,000 likes, or you post it and they get 1 like, do you love it? Right? And that's the biggest thing for me is like, because I the way I make certain my edits or the way I may put some of the music I put on there, I know they, especially younger generation, I know they ain't gonna necessarily always love it. But when I look at that video and my photo album, it's exactly what I had in my mind. Now, certain things you will have to make for clients, like for client work, you got to fit to that mold.
Yeah.
But the things that's really gonna get you to your point, to where you want to be, is just solely making stuff that make you happy. Don't try to follow a mold that you feel like everybody else is doing. I think that's 100% what I would
good.
say.
Yeah, and I think even too, like with my podcast, sometimes you just got to pave your own way. Like you don't fit into a category; you're supposed to make your own.
Facts.
And I think that's where sometimes people are like, "Well, I want to be like this, I want to be like that," and it's like, okay, yeah, but I'm looking for the audience that wants this something new. And so, no, I think that's great. So diving in a little bit, girly pop questions. Best food spots in Springfield. What do you guys got?
What's the number on it? Top 5?
Top 5. I mean, I was saying top 3, but Jbandz said he had top 5.
All right, I'm gonna go. There ain't no particular order. That's really my go-to. I'm gonna say probably Qdoba.
Okay.
Heard you.
Wingstop for sure.
Heard you.
What is it? Cheddar's? Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that one? Yeah, Cheddar's.
Yeah.
Cheddar's is top 5.
Heard you.
Big Whiskeys.
Heard you.
And definitely Waffle House.
Waffle House. This is 5 eats for sure. I don't know if I'm gonna get to 5. I guess starting at my 5, I gotta go Reds, the burger place Reds.
Okay.
And we talking like local Springfield, they fire. My 4, too much love is Ponchos.
Okay.
Ponchos. That's funny.
I've heard that name since Evangel.
That's why they on my list, because we used to go crazy at Ponchos. And then my Uno, that's gonna be tough. Oh, before I go there, City of Butcher. It's a barbecue place locally. You better get there early, because once they run out of meat, they close. Pause. They close early because people be like,
let them know,
killing their food.
Yeah.
I don't know who my Uno would be. I mean, it'll be like I was trying to stay local with it. So
it's okay if it's not local.
Gillies is fire though, down there.
Yeah.
Fire. I love their breakfast food. I never really had their lunch, but their breakfast food go crazy.
The BLT, best BLT in Springfield.
Nah, facts. The yeah. And then that might be it for me as far as you trying to go local in Springfield, people. Them the spots.
Local, like just like. I gotta give a shout out to my people that's small business. Mama G's.
Okay.
I knew you was gonna go
My
there.
people over there go crazy. Shout out them. They always get me right. And then like it's just when I see them, it's always love. It's like just about they might got me on call it in plugged in. When I call it in, they Jbandz.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mama G's is tough. Yeah, they bringing that soul food to Springfield.
It definitely it get that little piece of home because like even when moms ain't cooking or nothing, but it get like that different vibe. It's good, like family spot for sure.
Facts. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Can't think of no more. That's it.
I'll just say mine, but they're all just downtown vibes because I don't like to drive anywhere. So, well, one, the Order at Hotel Vandervoort. I love the steak there. It's just, oh my gosh, let's treat myself. That I like Tinga tacos. It's not super authentic, but the queso is like Moe's. So I love that. The chips are so good too. Tinga, yeah, and then obviously Gailey's because everyone, we're cool like that. And I do like Flame down here. I've never had the steak there, but I love the oysters. So good.
Morgan got a bougie taste, man.
I ain't been to Flame yet. Ain't that the one that's linked with Char?
Yeah. I think they're all kind of,
I ain't been to them two yet. You been to the spot, Greek Belly?
Oh, so good. That's good.
That's
Greek Belly's good. Yeah. Well, as we're ending up here, my last question before we get into how I end everything is, what can we expect from, the Tournament of Champions next year?
Something crazy.
Yeah, we got to go in the lab because we really, obviously today, y'all, is Monday. So the tournament really just ended Saturday. So we still got some stuff we want to roll out
for
to kind
of
in this year of TLC 2024 TLC. So we're gonna do like some thank you posts, some meet the team stuff on the page. But definitely once we get out the end of this, that's why I kind of was asking y'all questions like, what do you want to see different a little bit? So we're still wrapping up the end of year one. But definitely we're going to go back in the lab and realize what worked and what didn't work. Obviously, I don't think we had much stuff that didn't work. So it's going to be more of like, okay, now how can we go to another level? And that's going to be the hardest part.
Because we went crazy.
We did. We went crazy. So.
But I have no doubt. Yeah. I mean, you're plotting it now.
And that'll be the difference between 2025 to yes, that's crazy. 2025, oh my God.
I know.
10
it's
years
scary.
out of high school. Oh my God. I graduated. Don't call me old. I graduated in 2015. But no, because we're going to have a whole year of preparation versus we didn't start preparing to December 2023 for TLC 2024. So the fact that we're going to have a whole year,
it's going to be insane.
It's going to be crazy, Morgan.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the pod. How I end every show is favorite song, favorite quote, and what do you want your legacy to be?
You got it. Go first.
I got to go first?
Yeah, go first.
You ain't tell us about the favorite song.
Well, I totally said it.
You did? I was still munching on that burger.
It can be like what you're just rocking with right now, too. It doesn't have to be super deep with that.
For sure. It was quote and what favorite song and what else?
Favorite song, quote, and what do you want your legacy to be? When you're gone someday and someone's like, remember that guy Toad?
I love that question, Morgan.
Thank you.
So my quote for sure right now would be preparation doesn't always guarantee success, but lack of preparation always guarantees failure.
That's good.
That's really, and I feel like that ties into me pursuing the bag this year in 2024, that I got to prepare for it. I can't just go into it all willy-nilly and just think it's going to come to me. Because that's what, especially me and Trey with our film business, we kind of just always sat back and like, oh, do you want to do our wedding? Or, oh, do you want to film this game? It's like, I'm going out. I'm going to these businesses and saying, hey, I got this much engagement. This is why your business should be tied in with the things I'm doing.
That's good.
Favorite song right now, that how Ice Spice just popped up in my head.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with it. It's already in my head. The boys of Leah. That song is hard right now, bro.
Ice Spice is good.
I'll be bumping that. And man, the way I want to leave my legacy is just be a person that people can know he was a good person. That's good. If they remember me from my videos, cool. If they remember me from my athletic ability, cool. But if they can remember me as, hey, when I needed him, he was there for me, and he was always a person that had a smile. And there's any room he walked into, he brought it up energy-wise and made you feel important every time you saw him. I love that. I love that to be what people remember me of. And that's to my young people, my young videographers too. Just don't be the person that has good photos and videos and graphics. Be a person that people remember by when they meet you and say, I remember this is a good person. Because that'll get you in some doors that just because your work is good, you could have great work but be a terrible person. That's going to get you out some doors.
Yeah, for sure.
Let them know. Because me, I'm going to be honest, I ain't the best videographer editor out here. No. But I know when I meet people, I'm going to make them feel important because I want them to feel important. Everybody wants to. I want myself to feel important. Yeah. So I'm not just doing that just to make business out of it. I'm doing it because I genuinely want you to feel important. And I want you to know I care about you and I'm here for you. So
that's good.
That's my 3, Morgan.
That's good.
All right, what's the 3 I need again?
Song, quote, and legacy.
Song. What I've been bumping the last few days. Probably
Young Boy.
Nah. It's actually I've been on D Baby. It's a Black Sheep. So it's like it kind of give you that vibe. It's like it's alright to be different. Mm-hmm. And then was it a quote? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with the one I used for my little yearbook project I did with my photography. It was some Glorilla. It was what did she say? Living what I dreamed about. That's why it'd be hard to sleep. Cause it's like
that's good.
This is what I wanted. 5 years ago, I was like, man, I just want to be like, going crazy onto like some type of media project. Nah, I'm like, all right, what's the next step gonna be? Cause I've been hitting like all my goals and like achieving everything I wanted 2 years ago. So it's just like, just stay hungry and motivated.
That's good.
Yeah, and then what else I need?
Well, how you want people to remember you?
Legacy. Yeah.
Legacy, man. I just feel like I feel like they just got. They gonna remember me as like being me all the time. I ain't changed up. I don't feel like I changed up, or it's like I ain't treat nobody different. You gonna get Jbandz every time.
Authentic.
You gonna get me every time. I'm gonna tell you the real. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I feel like, even though the truth gonna hurt you sometimes, but I feel like I hurt you more if I lied to you about
that's good.
it. So you gonna get me every time. Same person.
For sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's hard, twin. I want to change my song to Drake Renaissance. I'm sorry, I can't be in here with no Ice Spice, but it's too late. I want to change my song.
You can change it.
It's Drake Renaissance. He said, like the game needed heart. I put my life in it. That's hard.
That's good. That's good.
I'm still regular Ice Spice, but no, that was hard. Twin.
No, that was good.
For sure.
I always just like do mine for the what the vibe is of like the week.
Yeah.
So the song is kind of girly pop, but I just went to my friend's wedding and like Island in the Streams by Dolly Parton is like Island in the Streams. Na, 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 na. I don't know. It's kind of like life is.
That's hard.
It's fine, but I just listen to it all the time. I don't know. Anyways, that's my song.
I'm going to check that out.
The quote of the week, because I've had other ones, but I saw this quote that was like, interesting people do interesting things. And I liked that because, I think it's important to live outside your comfort zone sometimes and to try new things just to try them, And I think when it's interesting, people pay attention, and then it just helps, storytelling or your platform grow or whatever it may be. And then legacy, similar to you, it's like, when people see me, I hope they feel like the love of Jesus and like being kind and understanding and like loving others, being funny, hopefully, and the same thing is like, I want people to feel important, and no matter I could be the same exactly right now, or, say someday the podcast really blows up. I still want to be the same me, to people, regardless of how many followers you have or whatever's going on.
That's true. I like that. Just getting out of your comfort zone too, because we could have stayed comfortable for the TLC. Like, true, just apply for a media pass, get in there, do our own thing, no rush. Like, it is what it is, but we chose to really go pursue it. Pursue your opportunities. Closed mouth don't get fed now. That's another quote.
That's right.
For sure. And then I like how you were saying, like, whether you big time or small time, like, stay the same. And I feel like I do that a lot, but I also with just like growing, you got to watch a lot of things, because everything don't be genuine no more.
That's right.
Everything, like, kind of people want to like just piggyback off you, or like, just like kind of like use and drain you up. So I feel like with growth, like, you definitely gotta like stay true to your circle, and then some things you gotta like, you gotta understand you can't just do everything no more, and you gotta watch like different situations you in. So you can't live the same life you lived 5 years ago, but you can still be the same person.
Right. Yeah, understanding like what you stand for. And I think as you grow bigger, like even for myself, like certain opportunities, I'll be like, oh, this is so cool. But I have to let them know like my boundaries or where I'm at, because I don't want to be like, oh, you got this awesome opportunity, and now it's completely opposite of what you stood for, in your podcast or whatever it is. And so understanding if people really want you, if they really want you to be a part of, the opportunity, the photo shoot, whatever it is, they're going to be cool with what your boundary is. And I think that's where people, when they're smaller, I mean, even for myself too, sometimes it's like, you're like, man, but I really want this. And it's like, well, what are you going to stand for? You know, so I don't know.
I feel that's why I knew you went perfect for this role, because with Josh being a little bit more conservative and not wanting certain things, I said, dog, I know. She gonna get on this camera. She ain't gonna cuss. She ain't gonna talk about drink nothing. I said, this is perfect. This is perfect.
And then that was another thing, though, because I feel like they did the same with us. My fault.
No, you're good.
I feel like they did the same with us, though, because they was like, we understand what y'all bring to the table, and y'all just do y'all.
Yeah.
We just got, you know, a couple of do's and don'ts, but it's nothing crazy for real. It's just like understand what we representing, and then just do y'all after. Yeah. So the fact that they, you know, trusted us, and that was his big thing too. He was like, I trust you guys because I see y'all out here. So it's like, that was a big thing. So just stay busy, stay motivated, keep grinding.
And that was one thing my mentor had always instilled in me. Shout out my girl, Callie. You know, she's like, you got to put the hours in. And that, you know, obviously you guys are at the games, but it could be like, you know, it can be like you're volunteering in a coalition group and you're doing hours of editing. You know, you're showing up for kids, you're networking, you're working after work, 5 to 9, after the 9 to 5, you know, whatever it is. And then, you know, when your time comes, it tastes so sweet because you're like, I earned this. And it wasn't like it happened overnight.
You about to go into a whole nother podcast.
I know. We did a part 2.
But you 100% right. You stay down for your come up. Don't try to go to your come up too early. Talking to you, little dog. You know who you are.
Oh God,
you know who you are.
Your time is coming.
Your time coming, but you got to put the work in first. Because if somebody would have been early in the game trying to do what we did this weekend, they'd have folded, Morgan.
Yeah.
They'd have folded.
Got to weather that storm.
Got to. And so those moments where a SD card ain't working, or you know the batteries ain't charged, or the computer about to die, like all those moments build us for that. In the wrong white balance, my shutter speed wasn't right, my mic wasn't plugged in, you know, I didn't format the card right.
Yeah.
All those moments
builds grit.
It prepared us for this.
Yeah.
The moments prepared us for this.
Hey, that recording the S&Q, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Not being the wherewithal to be able to look down every now and then and check, make sure your settings is right.
Like all those moments prepared us for this. We didn't skip steps.
That's right.
Don't skip steps, little dog.
Yeah.
Don't skip steps, little dog. You know.
Well, even I was reading this book about the CEO of Tom's, and he brought something up, and he's like, businesses, a lot of them succeed more when they start with no budget versus a lot of them that have a lot of investors, because they had to grow from nothing, and they understand the value of a dollar when they have billions versus you get a bunch of funding and the business flops because no one had the drive they did when they were a startup, you know? And so it's just kind of the same thing where when you're driven, because you remember when you started from nothing versus, oh, I just posted a video, I blew up, now I have, you know, it's just different how you value it almost.
No, facts. We grew up 600 plus followers over the, you know, the TLC, just the Instagram. I'm hungry for more.
Yeah.
I
gotta get that K.
I won't be satisfied. I won't even be 10% satisfied until we get that K.
And to even have that just over 3 days is nuts.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Especially and especially to put it in perspective, the 5,000 followers that were there already, they didn't follow the page for the content we're providing. They followed it as like, oh, I'm gonna just follow it, but they weren't thinking to come back and check that page like we had people doing. So I'm gonna shut up, Morgan, because I know you're trying to wrap it up. No, you're good. I'm telling you.
No, you guys are good.
It's a bunch, man.
Yeah, but we need a part 2, low key. But thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. It's been so fun. Make sure you guys listen to my solo pod. Podcast party is happening here next month. So many fun things, but be sure to leave a review if you like the episodes. Okay, well, you guys just keep on keeping up with Cash. Okay, bye.